Welcome to Rocky Broad Solar, where we encourage you to make the current flow. On today's episode, we're going to be installing some Aptos 460 watt all black solar panels paired with some SnapNrack Ultra Rail racking tied to some S5NH 1.5 seam clamps on this customer's nice standing seam roof to provide a secure attachment in a manner that has zero roof penetrations. We're going to pair this system up with some Tigo rapid shutdown modules, an Anker E10 battery system, and an Anker Power Dock smart panel to provide whole home backup for this residence, as well as some smart energy management to utilize his batteries in a smart way during a utility outage. Make sure to stick around to see some tips and tricks that we have along the way. Also make sure to subscribe, as we've got a couple more videos coming up in this series where we walk you through every part of the system, what we like about it, and what we think could use a little improvement. Let's get into it. SnapNrack has recently paired up with S5 to where a lot of their attachments come pre-assembled, but in this case we wanted that perfect fit with the NH 1.5 clamp, and that's one of the few S5 components that do not come pre-assembled to the SnapNrack L-foot. Here we've got the guys laying out the seam clamps, 4 foot on center. That's what the structural engineer spec'd out on this project to make sure that this thing can handle hurricane force winds in the event that that might happen.
Particular engineering on this array calls for feet no more than 4 feet apart and with a staggered pattern. So you can see here we're at 48 inches, and then on the bottom row we start our stagger and maintain that 48 the rest of the way down. These rails are the SnapNrack UR45s. They are 14 feet 4 inches long, and then we have splices. So this array is a little over 33 feet. So with the rails being 14 feet 4 inches, we use 2.5 rails per row, and that leaves us with quite a bit of overhang here. And like I said, whenever we lay the last panel, we'll measure right before we do so and cut this flush to the panel edge. I feel like that's a safer bet than just getting all these pre-cut. If there's any sort of adjustment you have to make while you're laying, this allows for that, and you can make your adjustments all the way up until the end.
S5 has multiple seam clamps depending on the profile of your seam. In this case, we've got an 1.5 inch tall seam, so I got these S5 NH 1.5s.
Alright, so we have our ladder set up on that side of the roof. So what I like to do is square the farthest side of the array when it makes the most sense to do so, away from the ladder, meaning that we are going to start laying panels on this side of the array, headed that way. We have a nice clean squared off edge here. We'll lay panels down, and when we get to the end, we have those rails running a little long, and before we lay that last panel, we'll take a bandsaw and cut them square to the end of the array.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
I bet. Leave a little gap in between these rails, and that's for expansion and contraction with the aluminum rails. Okay, we are installing the ATS, the Anker ATS box. It acts as the pass-through and the load center for the smart ports. It comes with a template that you can mount on the wall that shows you the screw locations. Ryan went ahead and put in a couple drywall anchors on this side, and then we are going to aim for a stud on that side. So we're going to go ahead and lift this box up and get it mounted on the wall. It does come with this, it comes with a cover here, just to keep any debris when you're doing the knockouts from getting into the internal components. All right, when installing these modular Anker Solix batteries, when you are mounting these on the ground, you want to keep this rubber cover here. However, we are using the mounting bracket that keeps them a little off the ground. We are going to be removing this rubber piece. There's a set screw on one side. That same set screw, once they are held in, you will mount that to hold the batteries together. There's one on each side. Pretty awesome, easy system here. So we're installing a total of 2 batteries here. So this is our uppermost battery, and when you're installing 2 batteries, you only need to use 1 bracket according to the Anker documentation. So this is how the bracket is installed. They have some provided screws, and we have the battery sitting about 2 inches off the wall. The manual is saying no closer than 1.2 inches to the wall, so we just went ahead with 2, and we are screwing the bracket into some studs now with some also provided screws.
Are there any washers?
There were no washers.
Okay, it's got a pretty fat panhead on it.
Since we had the only roof penetration in this entire roof, I elected to use a Chem curb, E-curb, to make sure that there's no way there could ever be any water intrusion in this standing seam roof. Here we've got Xander connecting MC4 connectors. Always make sure and use those Stobley brand MC4 to make sure you have a professional watertight connection. Different solar installers like to use different connections to connect their circuits on the roof. I don't like to cheap out here. I always prefer to use a solid crimp connection such as a Buchanan crimp here on the roof to make sure these connections are never going to come disconnected. We're also using this nice SnapNrack rail mounted junction box to make sure everything's weather tight and secure. It's always nice seeing the system come together as you're laying the last solar panel. Just kind of gives you a feeling of accomplishment. If you're in the Western North Carolina area and you're looking for a solar or battery expert to install solar on your home, go down in that description below, click on our Rocky Broad Solar Intake Form. Just take a few minutes to fill out some questions about your specific scenario. We'll get back to you within a few days with a zero-cost, pressure-free quote. If you're outside of the Western North Carolina area, but you're looking for an Anker certified installer to install the system on your home, go down in that description below. I'll have a link and a discount code if I can squeeze one out of Anker, where you can click on that link, use that discount code, and purchase a professional installation for your Anker system at your home. Let's get back into it. Here in the basement, we're wiring up our Tigo rapid shutdown transmitter, which is sending that keep alive signal to our Tigo rapid shutdown TS4-A-F modules on the roof. We've got one module per solar panel, so in the event that somebody hits that rapid shutdown button, it's going to reduce the solar array to a safe voltage at the array level, rather than having a high voltage DC circuit coming down through the home. That Tigo rapid shutdown transmitter is getting its AC voltage from the Anker Power Dock. We're setting that breaker as a critical load to always be on, and so that no matter what, that transmitter is getting that AC voltage. It's transforming that voltage down to a 12 or 24 volts DC to provide that keep alive signal. That keep alive signal is sent up the existing PV wires through what's called power line communications. That's a high frequency signal that can run along the current carrying conductors. We've also elected to install a separate IMO or DC disconnect switch to make a clean transition from our permanently installed code compliant solar array over to what's more of a portable or plug and play type style power station. We'll get into some more of those details in the next video, where I break down all of the things I do like and that I don't like about this system. Well everyone, that's pretty much all we've got for you today. As always, I really appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Till next time, take care.